Be honest, you copy Python code, it works. Then you change one small thing, and suddenly everything breaks. And the worst part is, you don't even know why it broke. If that sounds familiar, this video might save you months of frustration. The problem isn't Python, and it's definitely not that you're bad at coding. The real problem is learning syntax without understanding how Python actually thinks. In this video, I'll walk you through 7 core Python concepts that every beginner must understand before watching more tutorials. If these concepts click, Python will stop feeling random and tutorials will finally start making sense. Concept 1. Variables. Most beginners think variables are boxes. You put a value inside, and that's it. But in Python, variables are not boxes. They are labels. Think of a variable like a name tag. The name tag doesn't hold the object, it just points to it. Let me show you why this matters. First, I create a list with the values 1, 2, and 3, and store it in a variable called a. Now I create another variable called b and assign it the same value as a. At this point, a and b are not two different lists. They are two labels pointing to the same list. Now I add the value 4 using b. When I print a, Python shows 1, 2, 3, and 4. This is the moment where beginners panic and say, I didn't even touch a. But you did, just indirectly. Once you understand that variables are labels, not containers, a huge class of mystery bugs disappears. Concept 2. Functions. Beginners often see functions as complicated syntax. But functions are not about syntax at all. Functions are about thinking clearly. A function answers one simple question. If I give you this input, what output do you return? I define a function called calculateTotal. This function takes two inputs, price and tax, and returns the final amount. Inside the function, I calculate the tax from the price and add it to the original value. That's it. If you can explain your function in one sentence, you understand it. If you can't explain it, the problem isn't Python, it's unclear thinking. Functions force you to slow down and organize your logic, and that's why they're so powerful. Concept 3. If-else. If-else is how your code makes decisions. And here's something important. Python does exactly what you tell it to do. Nothing more, nothing less. I create a variable called age and set it to 17. Now I ask Python a question. If the age is greater than or equal to 18, I print, you can vote. Otherwise, I print, not eligible yet. There's no guessing here, no intelligence, just logic. Most beginner bugs with if-else come from unclear conditions, not from Python behaving strangely. If you say exactly what you mean, Python will do exactly what you expect. Concept 4. Loops. Loops exist to save you from repeating yourself. If you ever copy and paste the same code more than twice, that's a sign you need a loop. I create a list of numbers, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now I loop through each number in the list and print its value multiplied by 2. Instead of writing the same logic 4 times, I describe the pattern once. That's what a loop really is. Describing a pattern, not repeating instructions. Once loops click, your code becomes shorter, cleaner, and much easier to change later. Concept 5. Lists and dictionaries. Almost every real program is just data plus logic. Lists and dictionaries are how Python stores data. Lists are for ordered collections. Things where position matters. Dictionaries are for labeled information. Things where meaning matters. I create a dictionary called student. Inside it, I store a name, an age, and a grade. Now I access the student's name, using its key and print it. This is how Python models real-world objects. Once you're comfortable with lists and dictionaries, you stop writing toy programs and start writing real ones. Concept 6. Errors and debugging. Beginners fear errors. They see red text and panic. Professionals do the opposite. They slow down and read. I try to print a variable called x. Without ever defining it, Python immediately tells me that x does not exist. That's not Python being mean. That's Python being helpful. Error messages are not insults. They are instructions. If you learn to read errors calmly, you will progress faster than most beginners who try to avoid them. Concept 7. Documentation. The biggest myth in programming is that good developers memorize everything. They don't. Good developers know how to look things up. I use Python's built-in help system to see how the len function works. Documentation tells you what a function does, what it expects, and what it returns. This skill alone can carry your entire career. The goal is not memorization. The goal is understanding. So, if you understand these 7 concepts, tutorials stop feeling like magic spells. You stop copying code blindly, and you start thinking like a programmer. Python doesn't change, you do. This is ExploreKode, and this is where your Python journey gets clear.